Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celebrate Black Excellence. I'm your digital host, Carlton T. Clay. Our next guest is actor, singer, Terron Brooks. How you doing today, Terron?
Fantastic, Carlton. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here on Celebrate Black Excellence. We definitely appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk with us today. Now, let's get started with your career. How did you get started in entertainment with acting and singing?
I attribute school. I sang at church, so that's how I got started to sing. But if you want to talk about the industry, there was going to be no industry without education.
Mm-hmm.
So once I went to a performing arts high school, those teachers, instructors really saw something in me to bring that out of me, to give me a sense of purpose or excitement about the craft, or even a possibility, because I guess I thought there probably wasn't going to be a possibility of making a future from this. So school, the high school, the performing arts high school, and I got an agent and a manager early on to kind of attempt to be in the industry. But it started with getting out of being shy and self-conscious to a love of the arts. And then that's where I decided to make the decision to pursue it. So yeah, very, very young, but it wasn't like I was 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 going like, ooh, I want to do this. It really took some convincing and encouragement.
Absolutely. Now, what helped you? You mentioned being shy. Like, what helped you get out of that? Like, what help you with that?
Well, I think it's, we're all self-conscious, and I think when you're doing anything, and especially as an actor or performer, the worst thing you could do is think about yourself while you're doing something that's supposed to be focused on other people. So I think once I understood that this was going to kind of halt my growth and the excitement of what I was doing, if I always thought about, oh, that's a wrong note. How do I look? How am I going to be received? Do they like me? All of that self-conscious stuff. I think the answer to your question is, I kind of got rid of that and said, you know what, everyone's going to have an opinion about what this is going to be. I love it. I'm going to do it and hopefully find the people that enjoy it and do it for them, for a purpose, as opposed to getting caught up to like just being all about me. So I think that's what helped me lose a little bit of the shyness. What were the stakes? What was the reason why I was doing it? And those reasons were bigger than not doing it or just being shy, and then you started to get the love, right? When you start to feel that love and that people who do accept what you're doing, it kind of, dissipates all of that self-consciousness. We all still have it as humans, but that's pretty much what it was. The love overrode any of the nervousness and shyness.
Absolutely. Now, as a musician, as an artist, who are some of your inspirations?
Too many to count, but let's start with Tracy Chapman on the Grammys. Wow. Tracy Chapman, Michael Jackson, Fred Hammond, the Winans, Babyface, of course, Sam Cooke, Luther Vandross. It's just too many to mention. Those people that inspire. When people say inspire, it's like, what do they mean? For me, it's like there's something that touches something authentic. That's what it is. That's real, that touches me, right? And so some of those artists that I mentioned are there's others, but yeah. Tracy, Michael Jackson, Fred Hammond, the Winans. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, we talked a little bit about this before we started the interview, like a little pre-interview, but you had made an appearance on Hanging with Mr. Cooper. And
Yep.
I did tell you, I said, I've seen every single episode of Hanging with Mr. Cooper, and I did not realize that you were actually on the show.
Well, you got to blink. It was my first job. I had like 4 or 5 lines, but go back and you'll find it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. But just let's talk about that because, again, such great television back in the day in the 90s and 2000s, especially when it came to African Americans and us being seen on the forefront. How was that experience for you as a young actor?
Well, I mean, yeah, my first job being on a hit TV show was incredible. You know what I mean? And the kindness that I saw, because, when you're on a show, you get to see behind the scenes of the people the actors that you think and all of them were incredible. I think at that time, yeah, Nell was on the show, Nell Carter and Mark Curry, and it was an incredible experience. And I felt proud, you know what I mean? I think, not that I'm not proud today of our advancement and some of the things that we're doing and how vast the opportunities are, but I didn't have to worry about my parents or anybody turning on the show and seeing something that was going to be embarrassing or, not uplifting to what we're doing, who we are. So, and of course, Hanging Mr. Cooper was on in homes that wasn't just for Black people. Everybody watched Hanging Mr. Cooper when it was on. So yeah, lots of pride, to have that be my first job.
Yes, absolutely. Now, we have to talk about, of course, your most known role. A lot of people know you from the Temptations miniseries. You play Eddie Kendricks. Let's talk about that experience. Like, first of all, how did that role come to you?
Like an audition, and my agent's like, they're doing the Temptations and you got an audition. And I'm thinking, well, I'll go, but there's no way they're going to hire 5 stars, right? So I went, and I think I've said it many times, me being a little bit naive probably helped me because it wasn't overwhelming. I don't think I thought I had a chance. So that, just going in there, being natural, having fun, kind of transferred over. I think most people know I auditioned for Paul, and then I got Eddie Kendricks. But it was a surreal experience. It went really fast. I had about 9 auditions, got to go to network, do all these things that I've never done before. So I think I didn't have as much fear because I didn't know what this was actually, and I loved Motown and I loved the music and I was a performer. So I think that helped also. But it was one of those once in a lifetime things that actually found me, if I could just say. I just think it was nothing that I did so extraordinarily. It was just one of those moments like this dude that's it. This is the role, So yeah, big blessing and big memory, because people don't realize I had nothing on the resume. Probably Hanging Mr. Cooper. And a few commercials or whatever, but it didn't say lead actor in all these movies to be able to get something like that. So that's another thing I try to encourage people and say, hey, don't matter what you have, what you think, or how limited you think you are. If it's for you, go through those doors, you're going to get it.
Absolutely. Was there any pressure portraying someone that actually lived versus playing like a fictional character?
Absolutely was, because that people knew this man. Even the people that I were around knew this man, and you knew that he was beloved, right? I don't know if I put the pressure on myself in that way, but yes, Carlton, there was pressure, or let's say there was fuel to do the best possible job that I could do. Let's change it from pressure to fuel. I really wanted to honor this man. I knew that he was beloved. And then surrounding myself with the producers and the directors and the team who made me feel comfortable. I don't have time to think that I'm inadequate. I have to go, I was chosen, right? There's Otis, there's these people. Smokey says I'm the ghost of his friend. You know what I mean? I got to trust the process and not get in my head and just give, a tribute, And so it kind of goes back to what I said earlier about love. I think when you have love for something and you put love in it, you don't have to worry so much about the outcome. Of course, there's people that don't. I love reading comments that people thought, I wasn't the one. Of course, But for the most part, it turned out all right.
I think definitely better than all right. People are still watching that to this day. It's an iconic miniseries. It's something that we, like you said, we hold. People love the Temptations, but they also love you guys that portrayed them. So thank you for being the icon.
5 years.
Yeah.
25 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How does it feel to still be recognized to this day for your portrayal?
I was at lunch yesterday with my son and somebody came up and he just laughed, It feels good. I don't think about it though like that, but I'm always reminded it feels good that I'm in somebody's television, in someone's home, and that it brought them so much joy. Because when they come up to me, they have a smile on their face, or like you said, I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch it this weekend. There's something about it that must bring them something, and I'm proud of that. As an actor or performer, I'm proud of it.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about something that's near to your heart, the Soul of Broadway. Definitely want to talk about that. How did that get started?
Man, I just wanted to create something that people, I'm always auditioning. I'm always doing someone else's project and fulfilling someone else's picture or design. I wanted to create something that I wanted to show was me. And I found that as a Broadway performer, I took Broadway music and the songs, and then I put my story into it, added a lot of soul, gospel, all these kind of genres, and created something that I do all around the country now that's me. So when you come see it, you'll hear the story about the Temptations. You'll hear about my family. You'll hear about my struggles, my challenges, my successes, and you'll hear this music that you think is familiar wrapped up in another way that actually shows my artistry. So man, I'm so proud. I'm putting the producer hat on, the creator hat on. And so now in my career, when I'm choosing to do projects, I have something that I love to do, and I'm not desperate to do other things that aren't elevating me or elevating people. So to answer your question, Soul of Broadway, it's just a little hint of what I want to do in the future, but it does kind of tell my story, and I am in the driver's seat of that vision, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And you also have a music project, also Soul of Broadway. It was released in 2022. How has the reception been for that?
Oh, incredible. I get nervous, and like anything, you have an opinion about music, and I'm changing a lot of these iconic songs from Phantom of the Opera, from West Side Story, from, so even I did Just My Imagination in a different kind of way. So I understand purists and people that love what they love, but I took a risk and I said, hey, here's a rebellious new twist on it. And most often people really enjoy it. So yeah, the record, it's a Broadway themed record, but I just want to say, if you get it and you listen, it's so many genres, you're still going to enjoy. If you enjoy my music or Terron music, you're going to hear that just through a Broadway lens. But yeah, I'm excited. I have another record that I'm almost finished with, and I haven't had an original record out in a long, long time. So keep hope alive. We'll get that out as soon as possible.
Absolutely. We cannot wait to hear it, definitely. And if people want more information about you or they want updates, how can they get that information?
Yeah, you just go to TerronBrooksOfficial.com. That's my website. Or you go to soulofbroadway.com. Instagram, I'm always on Instagram. Even if you want to chat and talk, I will write you back or say, hey. So those mediums, you can find me, and check out the music on iTunes and Spotify. Yeah.
Awesome, definitely. Are there any words of inspiration or encouragement that you can give somebody that's watching today?
Well, we're talking about Black excellence, and thank you for having me. I guess you're including me in that whole thing. I just say, to be excellent doesn't mean to be perfect. It just means to be authentic, and it just means to be proud of who you are, investigating who you are, investigating your past, of where we've come from as people, and trying to elevate that the best way that you can. So my advice would be, continue on your path to find out who you are, love who you are, and who you are is the star. And try not to compare yourself with anybody else. But the excellence is not against someone else or compared to someone else. The excellence is inside of you, asking yourself, am I being the best person I could be so I can do the best job that I can do? That's what I would say.
Awesome. Well, Terron, thank you so much for your words of inspiration and encouragement. Congratulations on everything that you've been doing. Because as we mentioned, you are Black excellence, so we definitely want to salute you and celebrate you. So thank you.
Appreciate you so much. Proud of you too, Carlton.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, everyone. This is Celebrate Black Excellence. I'm your digital host, Carlton C. Clay. This is Celebrate Black Excellence. We celebrate Black excellence every day. Have a good one.